Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trek Canon. So, it's been a while since I did a full length Trek Canon video, and I'm going to get into the reason in this particular episode. So, I've been focusing on my 60-second reviews and my 60-second movie type things and everything like that. But as I am a Trekkie, and the name of the channel is Trek Canon, and the reason I started this channel was to talk about Star Trek in the first place. Let's get back to some roots. Now, let's talk about why I haven't been talking about Star Trek. Number one, Star Trek Strange New Worlds is on a break right now. So that being one of the better of the new Star Trek iterations, I haven't had a really good stories time to talk about talk about that because they haven't been showing them. But the thing is this, why I haven't been talking about Deep Space Nine, the Next Generation, Voyager, Enterprise, the original series, the animated series, why haven't I been talking about those bad boys? And I'm going to have to say, for some strange reason, there hasn't seemed to be too much interest in the old format Star Trek, which breaks my heart. Yeah, you got people that say, I'm a fan of it and everything like that. But those people are usually people who have too much to do in their day to sit and watch episodes of bootleg Trek Canon. And far be it me being the type of person that talks about things that I don't want to talk about, like, political correctness and and all of this types of stuff. Sometimes I talk about that. But I try to keep my channel light, fair-hearted, and everything like that, and positive and good. And speaking of the positive, let's talk about the problems I'm having with two of, historically, my favorite franchises on Earth, in the multiverse even. And that is Doctor Who, and that is Star Trek. Anybody who is a fan of my channel knows that Star Trek is a religion of mine. It's a religion. It's my religion, people. That's what I worship. Also, everybody who is a fan of my channel knows that Doctor Who is also something that it's a near and dear thing to my heart. And then to find out, just so y'all know, I've been trying to say this for decades. Doctor Who and Star Trek are canonically bound to each other. Yeah, Star Trek and Doctor Who exists in the same universe. So, of course, I'm going to love them. They're both iconic shows and they exist in the same realities. That being said, let's begin this off with Discovery. Bad Discovery. Bad Discovery. Sick. Since Discovery aired 5 seasons ago, right? It's been a thorn in not only my side, but in Trekkies' sides in general. And this is why. If you think about Star Trek, if you think about the characters in Star Trek, if you think about the crews, the iconic crews in Star Trek, the ships in Star Trek, the technology, everything has been laid out in such a way that all you have to do is put your people in there, give them interesting stories, and the universe will take care of it itself. You have the likes of Captain Archer, Captain Picard, Captain Sisko, Captain, what's her name? The Dread Pirate Janeway. You have these iconic characters who are so selfless. They are bound by honor, upholding Starfleet principles when to the best of their abilities, because you know how it could be. But then you have this one Star Trek series that comes out. In the very first episode, what does the first officer do? She mutinies, that's a word. She performs a mutiny, get a captain killed and eaten by the crazy looking Klingons that don't match nothing they got to do with Klingons inside a sarcophagus ship. We all know how the Klingons feel about their dead. It's just an empty shell, treated as such. So that's our introduction to the crew of Discovery in the very first episode, very first season. Oh, this is about people who are the antithesis of the values and morals and everything that we have now come to love from a Starfleet and Star Trek crew. Back in the day, old Trek was built on, hey, we're trying to preserve paradise. We follow orders. Mutiny is unheard of on a Starfleet ship. You know what I mean? Like, think about what was that episode, the Pegasus. Think about how much they tried to cover up that to even stop. Well, we ain't gonna call it a mutiny, but think about that for a second. Like mutiny in Star Trek. Like if you're a Trekkie, somebody mutinying, man, like we already don't like that person. And you're gonna build your first season, your first episode Your first main character of somebody who's worse than Ensign Rolaren. Like, come on. Do we stop there? No. We spend the next 4 seasons not getting to know anybody on the bridge. Like, seriously. This is the 5th season. I have absolutely no idea who the crew members are. And I'm gonna tell you right now, look, test it out. Name all the crew, all the bridge crew of Discovery right now. I'll wait. Just name them. Don't look it up. Just name them. Yeah, exactly. So now it brings us to the 5th and last season of Discovery because, of course, nobody is liking Discovery, right? They keep talking about people like Discovery. Discovery's supposed to have all these great reviews and, no. Everybody, every single person I talk to, not all the videos and influence, no. That's a whole nother beast. I'm talking about actual people who I know are Trekkies that I talk to. It's unanimous. Not nan person has ever said, oh, I like Discovery. It has been unanimous across the board that this is a piece of caca, as they said in the old caveman movie. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just preface this whole little thing by saying, despite all of the problems that Discovery has, none of it falls under the category of woke. None of it. Not nan thing about Discovery falls under the category of woke. As a matter of fact, you can't even apply the term woke to Star Trek because that is Star Trek. It is the principles of infinite diversity and infinite combinations. And to this day, it amazes me. People who call themselves Trekkies and do not understand the most basic concept of diversity. I mean, infinite diversity. I mean, it's literally right there. It's woke. The fuck out of here with that. So not only do we not know the crew, right? Instead of going in a episodic type of thing or a really good story arc, like say Deep Space Nine with elements of episodic elements. Now, what they want to do every season that Discovery has been on, it has been something that only Discovery could save the entire galaxy. Only Discovery. You know what I'm saying? Only Discovery could save the entire galaxy. And look, don't even get me started on the spore drive. We ain't going to talk about that. So the spore drive breaks every faster than light technology thing that has been ever established in Star Trek canon. Hell, the Soliton wave was a more believable device and piece of technology than the spore drive. Like, really, dude? Really? So we come to 5th season. What do they focus the 5th season on? They focus the 5th season on the progenitor technology. Billions and billions of years old technology that still for some reason exists and has the ability to have clues around, right? They decided to make the episode The Chase from the Next Generation an entire season, right? And instead of focusing on the progenitors, the history of the progenitors, anything they got to do with, expanding upon that professor's work, right? No. We focusing on Marlon Locke. That's what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on the Breen. The first time we ever seen the Breen, right? And the first time we ever seen this person right here. They ain't supposed to be in some kind of inseparable love, and they need the whole, they trying to get the progenitor technology to get to the Breen because this Breen dude, who is the uncle of Maul, he can't succeed and become the head of, the emperor of Breen and bring all the factions together without this dude for some reason. And so they got this blood pact to go find this dude and la. I don't care about Marlon Locke. Really, I don't. I really don't care about. They are not interesting enough characters. They haven't been written to be interesting enough characters to carry intrigue for a season. No, man, come on. And then you're going to try to tell me that out of all the contributions of 7 and 9 to Star Trek, she's been reduced to a 7 of lime drink? Oh, Jesus Christ. So it was this one episode in Discovery, I think it was episode 5, called The Whispered People, Whisper Talk, Talk Whisperers or something like that, stupid whispering. But I wanted to touch on that episode a little bit. So this is a pre-warp civilization, Prime Directive applies. Let me say that again. Pre-warp civilization, Prime Directive applies, okay? Basically, a piece of technology has been left on this planet. This planet has atmospheric compressors on it or whatever that basically has made this sand planet, areas of it, habitable. And it was made by Neelix's people. All right, which is cool. You got a chance to talk about Netflix. But anyway, they all been failing. People go in here and they basically sacrifice themselves to get the rain and all that good stuff. But here's the thing. Burnham comes down. They find, they got to go through this whole they got to go through this whole little trial and everything, super thirsty and all this stuff, and they got to get it. The system is about to break down. Burnham has Tilly and I believe one other person is up inside this place, and they about to suffocate because that's what part of the whole sacrifice thing and all that. Yeah. Now here's the thing: Captain Kirk, Picard, all of these people have broken the they have bent the Prime Directive. They have been around where the Prime Directive, they tried to, where the Prime Directive was broken by other ships, I think of bread and circuses, broken by other ships, and they tried to do what they could to, a piece of the action. They tried to do what they can to realign it or bring it back onto, some kind of way. You know what I mean? Picard would have rather died. You know what I'm saying? Who watches the Watchers? Picard would have rather died than break the Prime Directive and have these people thinking that he a god. You know what I mean? Like, this has been established in Star Trek. You know what I mean? So, because your homegirl is about to die, suffocate up inside here, not only do you break the Prime Directive, but you truly destroy the Prime Directive. You basically told these people, hey, check this out. Everything that you believe, this whole religion, all that, no. I mean, you can say the same thing. What was it? Episode Ball. Everybody was sacrificing themselves to Ball, and Kirk was like, yeah, man, y'all gonna need to stop sacrificing yourselves because that ain't cool. But what Kirk didn't do was land a starship on the planet. Kirk didn't get them phaser technology. Kirk didn't get them communicators. He didn't show them, the math and science needed to run these things. None of that. These people just straight up just was like, screw the Prime Directive. And then it hasn't been no repercussions. Ain't nobody said nothing about it. Like Discovery to me is no Discovery. Bad Discovery. Bad Discovery. A waste. And I'm surprised that it actually got to 5 seasons. But let's bring that in. Let's come around a little bit. Let's pivot. Let's pivot. That's what they say in professional talk. Let's pivot. Let's talk about the new Doctor Who, or as I like to now call it. Really? That's what we're doing in the middle of my conversation, Siri? Side note, I programmed my Siri to respond to computer. Watch this. Computer, what is the worst Star Trek series made?
Untitled Star Trek. Beyond sequel is a part of Star Trek series.
She been smoking. So let's talk about the new Doctor Who, or as I like to refer to it as Doctor Them or They. Doctor They. I like that. Doctor They. Let's talk about Doctor They. All right. Here's the thing. I have watched Doctor Who since literally the second Doctor. The fourth Doctor is my favorite. All right. So think about how long I have been a Whovian. All right. They didn't call it Whovians back then, but think about how long that was from the second Doctor all the way up to this, right? Now, I kind of started to fall off on the Jodie Whittaker series. Peter Capaldi was the man. Like, Peter Capaldi, if there was some kind of way for me to switch Peter Capaldi with the Ninth Doctor as far as the effect, the effects that he had on rejuvenating Doctor Who, I would definitely do that. But let's move on. I wasn't a big fan of Jodie Whittaker. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you why. And I know it's probably going to upset some people, but you see all this gray in my beard, right? That right there means I don't care. Doctor Who has always been male. All of the Time Lords, whether they were female or male Time Lords, whenever they rejuvenated, they will remain male or female. If the Doctor can change his face, I wouldn't have minded a black Doctor. I wouldn't mind it an Indian Doctor, Hispanic Doctor, whatever. But male, it is a male Doctor. The Doctor has always been a Time Lord, but now he's some kind of nameless child, an orphan of the universe. The Doctor has never fell in love with a human. Hell, River, his wife, said that. The Doctor, you think that's what he does, going around just falling in love with people? That's what he does. And the Doctor regenerates one for one. I mean, these are established things, man. Established things. So now we got a bi generation. Yeah, I'm gonna put a lantern on that, as they say in Stargate. We have a black gay doctor. Think about that for a second. We have a black We have a black gay doctor. We have a black Captain Jack Harkness. Now, I could go into every time I see a black man of color in something nowadays, he's either going to be married to a white woman or he's going to be gay. 9 times out of 10, though, he's going to be gay. Almost 90% of the black men that I see on TV, commercials, advertisements, any of this, they're going to be gay. Going to be gay, have a white girlfriend or a white wife. That's just how it's portrayed in the media. So why does the doctor need to be homosexual? Does that help him out being a Time Lord? No, because his sex was never talked about at all back in the day. Does it make him more of an interesting character? Does it help him solve the mysteries or fight the monsters any better? Will his perceptions of the things that happened in time and his perception of time, would that be affected by his sexual choices? Why does he have sexual choices? And that being said, what female, because gay guys are supposed to be acting like females, what females act like gay guys? Like, I mean, it's its own beast. So I'm wondering, how does the doctor's sexuality fit into the storyline? How is it synergizing in that storyline? For instance, it's been 50 years, 13, 14 doctors, right? The closest that they've got to talking about doctor being in love with somebody else, doctor having sexual, any type of that, was with Rose. It was with River. And we've seen how that went. And if the doctor felt that kind of way, why did he always roast Captain Jack Harkness when he was like just being straight up attracted to everything? And then you got to have characters, the main villains. You got to have companions, people that they run into. It's like the whole world of everything, of the people that they meet and everything, is now homosexual. And I'm trying to figure out why. So then I ask myself, what is the point of all of that? How does that enhance the story? Is the story going to be centered around that particular activity now? Is that how they're going to shape the morality, the interactions, the character developments, the nuances of the show? Is that what they're going to center it around, is going to be that particular style? So like the episode with the babies, right? Who was changing the babies? Who changed the babies? If the babies didn't get hugs, that's not good, right? You go, like, what happens when the babies get older? Like, maybe I wasn't paying attention, partly because I was too amazed at the whole look who's talking aspect of Dr. Ware, or of Dr. They. Well, since he rejuvenates us a lot of them, is it they, them? Is it them? Those? Whatever. See all this gray? I don't care. So let's get into the aspect of then why it's problematic to me. All right. It's problematic to me because, again, just like with Star Trek, Doctor Who has decades of canon, decades of, hey, this is how we do things. They have built a whole, not world, man, a whole universe, a whole multiverse of, hey, this is how the rules go. This is how things operate. This is the framework. You can't then come and be like, yo, the framework gonna be over here. Everything that you know about the Doctor, everything that you thought you knew for the last 50 years, nah, none of that's true. None of that, all of that is gone. You can't eliminate 50, 60 years of canon just because you want it to relate to your personal life. And then to be like, oh, okay, if you don't like how I'm living my personal life, then don't watch it. You change the channel. You would say this to lifelong fans. I wouldn't even say lifelong fans. I said it was generations. You would say this to generational fans. My dad was a Whovian, got me into Doctor Who. I got my sons into Doctor Who. This is generational. Oh my God. And then to be, look, flamboyant. This was cool for Captain Jack Harkness. Why? Because we had just met Captain Jack Harkness. He was new to the canon. this was his character. You know what I mean? It ain't like we knew Captain Jack Harkness way before, and then all of a sudden now he's just super flamboyant. No, that was his character, and as such, I loved Captain Jack Harkness. That was my dude. So don't come up here talking about he don't like flamboyant characters. He don't like LGBTQ characters. Look, Captain Jack Harkness was the man, and I'll fight anybody who say otherwise. Even when he was the face of Ball, every episode that Captain Jack Harkness was in was the classic. So don't come at me with that. See, I started ranting again. What was my point? My point was, it's generational. You can't be like, oh, well, because I want to put my life experiences into this, my own personal life experiences. I'm not talking about the life experiences that reflect a social issue, the life experiences that reflect a interpersonal issue that, many people or the majority of people who watch the program share. You know what I mean? I'm not even talking about changing canon in such a way that you attract. I'm not even talking about changing canon in such a way that you attract new people. They did it with the Ninth Doctor. You know what I mean? They did it when they retconned the whole how many regenerations he had and went to Capaldi. So don't tell me, well, whatever. So what have we learned? What have we been talking about? We've been talking about Star Trek, Doctor Who. Two iconic, historic, long-lasting, generational franchises, right? That people have taken the core of, that made them what they were, that made people love them, that made the optimism and the dreams that when people watch Star Trek, the original series, the recruitment for astronauts increased dramatically. Hell, the crew of the Enterprise was even in commercials and promotions for NASA. All right, think about that. The Next Generation had technology in it that influenced people to develop things like the iPad, all right, apps and everything that work, that you don't have to be putting levels and all that kind of stuff. Because that's what was on those touch screens in the Next Generation, apps. You know what I mean? So these things influence technology. These things influence change. 5 seasons of Discovery, literally 5 seasons of Discovery. What piece of technology has Discovery introduced that you was like, that people be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna try to do that. You got people trying to make warp engines. You don't have nobody trying to make spore drives. Like, Kirk said that, I think it was Spock. Spock said that the reason he knew that the Mirror Universe, Captain Kirk and the rest of them was Mirror Universe's people, it didn't take him long. He said because a sane person, it's easier for a sane person to act crazy than for a crazy person to act sane. All right. And we've been building all these people. So it blows my mind, right? That you got people like Captain, what was his name? Lorca, being an Enterprise, being Discovery captain for the longest, it didn't nobody know. Captain Georgiou, like Empress Georgiou, like she just able to just function normally, so basically Discovery hasn't motivated anybody. It hasn't inspired anybody. Doctor Who, it hasn't focused on the history, on the challenges that the Doctor faced, with the humor, with the darkness, with the creatures, with the traveling through time in an accurate way. Because I'm gonna have to tell you, honestly, they started losing me when the Doctor was like, "Hey, man, you can walk around normal and everything could be fine." And Martha was like, "Yo, I'm black, right?" But think about it. They touched on that even with her. Remember that episode where the Doctor decided, "Hey, man, I'm gonna go ahead." What was it? Family of Blood? Yeah. Martha, how was they treating Martha? Yeah, they was treating her like, "Yo, man, you trash, man. Go ahead and sweep this floor, man. I'm talking to us. Yeah, we gonna mess with you, right?" So now you got a black Doctor running around through time, and everybody gonna be cool with that. Like, all you need is for this new season Doctor to go back to 1920s America, and that's literally the end of Doctor Who. Get a rope. So I ain't gonna make this all preachy, man, but in essence, it's like this. The people who watch Star Trek, the people who watch Doctor Who, the reason that they're fans is because this media is an escape into something that is not like our reality. Okay, it is, like I said, full of optimism that Earth could be paradise, that we could travel through time and meet all these different individuals. Like it's like that episode with Van Gogh. You know what I mean? Classic Doctor Who episode. Now, when would be compare that? Compare things like Silence in the Library, things like Blink. Compare these episodes to what's being written now. All right. Think of the things that those episodes and those seasons were centered on, and why people love them, and why they're so iconic, and how they develop these types of villains and these types of heroes, and these people that the Doctor meet that just classic. Remember that episode where Kylie Minogue was on that space cruiser? Like, I will always remember Kylie Minogue's character in that episode, and how the Doctor dealt with sending, the pain of him having to send her off, as particles into space. Think of that, and think of the writing of what you've seen in the first two episodes of what we have now. Like, there's a reason there's this this negativity that's being held towards this, and I'm surprised that Russell T Davies is even responding the way that they are, and the actors are responding that the way they are. They really need to sit down and watch this stuff, and see why it is that people are mad that members of their family is being perverted like this. You know what I mean? And I mean it, members of the family, because again, generational. But anyway, man, this video, I done ran it, forever on this video. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm pretty sure I already know what you guys think. Bad discovery. Bad. Bad. Please ring the bell for any future content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And as always, peace, recycle, and save the whales. You guys be cool. Like, besides the captain, Saru, let me see, I know Book, I know the cat, you got to know the queen cat, I know Stamets, I know the Section 31 doctor guy. Like, I still don't know who the ops and the cons dude is. I don't know who the chief of security is. I don't know who the communications officer is. I don't know who the science officer is, because it couldn't be Tilly. Tilly is a cadet, ensign, lieutenant, or whatever. I don't know who the science officer is. I don't remember the doctor's name at all. Like, I don't remember none of that. I don't remember, I want to say the chief engineer is Janet Reno, but is she? Like, these things I should know. These things that I should know.